Alright, Travis Wayne Goodsell. Now that the birthday of the man-child is over with, now we count down to Wednesday evening for Purim and the super moon. Let's find out what time. In Utah. The worm moon at 7:42 p.m. Alrighty. Alrighty. And then, wow. Yeah, the 27th is the third quarter. I'm very curious about that because, as I showed you in the video, there's a sign. One that I never anticipated until I checked on it. So, yeah, because Jupiter, man-child, is there at the right leg. Okay. And then April 5th, that's Friday, because I think the 6th is Saturday, or is it? Good question. Yeah, 5th is a Friday. That's when the new moon is. Alright. Yeah, as you can tell, this is just a slough video. Just waking up. It's after 3 in the morning. Man. Oh, that's done, huh? Alright. Yeah, apparently Mormons still are haters. Strange. You point out all the things that are wrong, and people remain in denial, refusing to accept the truth, refusing to accept the possibility of truth, that they're automatically confident that they are in the right, despite all the atrocities they perform. You know, like the sex trafficking bishop. You know, what makes Mormons think that they're in the right when you have a sex trafficking bishop? Huh? Seriously? The rape and pimping of little girls? What's wrong with you guys? That's demented. Is that what you really want for the church? Is to go around pimping little girls once they turn of age? They don't go in for a temple recommend interview. They go in to be prostituted by the bishop. Is that really the size society you want? That's just disturbing. Very disturbing trend, Mormons. See, like the video I did, which is doing very well for one day. Book of Mormon reveals Church of Lucifer, great and abominable. that version. I have other versions that I could do. I could do King Noah. I can do the Zoramites. You know, very easy to do. Because they both are, all three of them are churches. Even King Noah, because he has his priests, church. And so you just look at what they did for their society, and then you say, oh, yeah, Mormons did that, and that, and that, and that, and that. Yeah. That's how you're supposed to study the Book of Mormon, guys. Didn't you know that? That's how I was taught how to study the Book of Mormon when I was a kid. They call it likening the scriptures unto yourselves. Should we look that up? Why not? We're just sloughing a video. And we'll type in liken 33. Starting in Psalms. And then here's Isaiah. To whom then will ye liken God? To whom will ye liken me? Or shall I be equal? That's where they get it from. Isaiah 40:25. Matthew's got it. I've likened this generation. I will liken unto a man which sowed good seed in a field. Then tares came along. Who put the tares in your field? Oh, right, Brigham Young. Alrighty. And here's Nephi. Yep. So here he's talking about Isaiah, and that's what they were reading. They came across that chapter 40, was it? For I did liken all scriptures unto us, that it might be for our profit and learning. Did read into them which was written by the prophet Isaiah. And then again, in the next verse, hear the words of the prophet which were written unto all the house of Israel, and liken them unto yourselves. Seems very clear to me. You know, I don't know how you Mormons missed it in your rising generation, or maybe it's just Utah. Maybe Utah doesn't want you to liken the Book of Mormon. Great and marvelous work among the Gentiles. That's the Book of Mormon. Remember, Mormons? Which shall be of great worth unto our seed. Wherefore, it is likened unto their being nourished by the Gentiles. So that's not really the same, but likened unto you, likened unto you, likened unto you. For I will liken his words unto my people. Words of Isaiah. My soul delighteth in his words. For I will liken his words unto my people. And I will send them forth unto my children. This is what that video is all about that I did. The Book of Mormon reveals the great and abominable church. I likened the words of the Book of Mormon unto Utahns. It's that simple. Not complicated. And yet there are two guys who say, no, they're evil, I don't like this. Liken the O house of Israel unto the tame olive tree. Liken them unto a tame olive tree. Liken unto a wise man. Liken unto a foolish man who built his house upon the sand. That's Jesus quoting or plagiarizing them. That's an interesting dilemma, isn't it? Because if Jesus is the author in the Book of Mormon, but the New Testament is an author quoting words of Jesus as according to his understanding, would Jesus in the Book of Mormon be plagiarizing the author of the New Testament? Would there be a lawsuit for copyright infringement? Okay. But yeah, 153 views so far. So, yeah, I don't know, this might be good enough. King Noah and Zoramites are pretty much the same stuff. There's a couple extra differences that reveal some more information about what Lucifer's church would look like that the Mormon church is doing. But other than that, you know, maybe I could do a video on the different or the added information. But because the Zoramites, for example, I sort of had to imply the neglect of the poor with the Great and Abominable Church, because it just says that they have gold, silver, silks, fine linen, and it doesn't really say that they neglect the poor. They torture and control and enslave the saints, but it doesn't really talk about impoverishing the saints. But if you consider slavery and bondage as financial as well, then yeah, poverty. So, but with the Zoramites, for example, it's a clear cut. They pointed out clearly there that the rich were the ones who took over the church and kicked out the poor because of their poverty. So that's what the church is doing. Pay your full tithing or you're out. Pay your government money or you're out. So not too many people are looking at the Mormon succession crisis, which is curious because you'd think Mormons would need to want to watch that. And it seems like I have consistently two people who are purposely putting thumbs down. So I've noticed that pattern in the videos. So we're back to 2. Because I think in order to put a thumbs down, you have to be a subscriber. And so I've noticed some people that I had not seen in a while who have become subscribers. And I'm kind of wondering, did you guys come back and subscribe just so that you can put a thumbs down? So that may be a possibility, but you know, only 40 views. YouTube is not keeping track or keeping up to date with the views, because it's showing 33 on the screen for that video and 40 on the actual video itself. And then LDS Mormons to be example, not force example. That's a simple thing, Mormons. Simple request. You know you don't want Christians forcing their Christian God on you, right? Or you don't want that Muslim God, right? So why then are you forcing the Mormon God? It's a simple thing. 55, but yet there's the token too. The token too. And then birthday 61 and 10. Nobody likes this one. Oh man, this is this is incredible. Nobody likes the birthday of the coming of the man-child. Unbelievable. It's his birthday, and you guys are all in a tizzy. no, he can't have a birthday. No, no, I won't allow it. Oh my God, you guys are twisted. Update for human trafficking picked up, so that's good, because that's the one where I go, boom, this is what exactly the church is doing. Whereas the original one, it was more of an understood. And so I mentioned in that understood human trafficking that the church was involved, and then I was going to consider doing an update, and there it is. And that's catching up, getting more attention. 142 according to the video, and that's 6 to 5 on the thumbs. Again, see, the Mormons who put the thumbs down, they want human trafficking. That's disturbing, Mormons. You've got serious problems if you think human trafficking is okay. That what that bishop did, he should get away with it. That he did no wrong. He was trying to help those girls. As he said, he was trying to handle them as he's handled others that they're now investigating to find out who else was victimized by these people. That bishop. This is disturbing, guys. Do you not have daughters? You know, this is not a situation where you can just sing a song and, you know, bring your daughter to the slaughter. You know, you don't do that. You didn't want to be victimized, would you? You don't want your daughters being victimized. What is your problem, guys? This is disturbing to see 5. Any number is disturbing. That somebody would actually think that human trafficking is okay. That if it's done by the church, it's now approved by God. What is wrong with you guys? You guys are just sick and disturbing. And then here's the Mormon opinion versus truth video. 111. And 3 thumbs down. Mormons want to have their opinions. They don't care about truth. And the prophecies fail to occur. Here's the original human trafficking. 213. 6 and 6. Mormons, man, you guys are disturbing people. This is not the church that I thought I was growing up in. This is disturbing to see that people actually want human trafficking, that are okay with it as long as the bishop is in charge of it. That's disturbing. There's wrong in your head. I don't want to say mentally wrong, but it is mentally wrong. You've been taught wrong. You know, I got to listen in art classes as the guys at my table would talk about, you know, the conquests of girls, and the one kid drawing dragons saying, oh, that's Lucifer. No, he's really a dragon because it says so in the Bible. And then talking about, oh, I'm going to be a gynecologist so I can look at women's vaginas. You know, that was disturbing. But Mormons, you know, this is creepy, like the guy that worked at Blockbuster Video with us. You know, he was talking about locking up women in his basement. And man, that's just disturbing stuff, guys. I mean, this goes beyond just corruption and religious zealousy. Zealousy? I think it's called zealousy. LDS Mormon attacks and unrevealed lies. That's my own personal story, giving you guys an update of what happened, and 5 thumbs down. So you guys are okay. with taking away the rights, liberties of other people. You guys just don't care. That's disturbing. And when we get down to the satanic stuff and the codes and all that, I mean, I had to delete comments from guys who were saying, yeah, mark of the beast, man, Satan rules, and all that crap. Mormons, you guys are sick. You've got something seriously wrong with you. And that you come after me as the problem. You guys are the problem. Mormon Church dichotomy fallacy. 67, 3-3 tie. Mormons were the first, now they're the last. And you guys all know what that refers to. You guys were, I came to you guys first, Mormons. Not just because that's the popularity of my videos, but it has to do with the last days and the supper of the last days. You guys aren't going to come. It just ain't going to happen. God won't allow impure and unclean things to enter into his kingdom. So Mormons, you're out. He don't like human traffickers. He don't like Satan worshipers. He don't like people who embrace corruption and kicking the poor to the curb. You guys are out. It's that simple. You can't do that. And here's a disappointing one. LDS Mormon women priesthood celebration, and only 65 views after 3 days. So, yeah, only the token one on that one. I feel safe in New York City. So, yeah. I think I've covered the video of when I was a missionary in New York. I got to go to the meeting that discussed the building of the Manhattan Temple. LDS Mormon Church confesses critics are right, and people rage about that. Only one. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Travis. Well, church says it. I believe it. I'll follow them. Church are liars. Woo! Liars! Corrupt! Evil! Deceive us! So here's Nelson implements Lucifer's plan of happiness. 282 views. So it's doing fairly well after 4 days. Sort of fairly well. 3 thumbs down versus 7. But it's that simple, Mormons. Lucifer's plan of happiness is outlined in Mormon scriptures. It's part of Mormon theology. We know what Lucifer's plan is. We got the playbook. We know it. And yet Mormons embrace it. My mom embraced it. As a kid, I was taught the plan of salvation of Heavenly Father. And I would then see my mom's behavior. No, when you're 18, you can get your own place. You can do what you want. Mom, that's Lucifer's plan of happiness. But yeah, I was a very observant kid. My mom's treatment of me was not right. You know, just because she's a mom does not give her the right to go against Heavenly Father, to go against God. And yet people think that they are privileged when they're in a certain position. That's disturbing, guys. And then Nelson hands over the church to the Pope, and he'll talk about it in conference. I should do those videos today. Talk about all the things that we can speculate on, what they're going to announce, what the church is going to compromise, what the church is going to do away with, what the church is going to change. we're we're gonna have Pope and Putin speaking in conference. I should do that video. It says 291 views, but it said 312 on the YouTube. And YouTube, you suck. Get your numbers straight here. Is it 2 something or is it 3 something? Because people can't take away a view. I don't know how that can be done. Man. And the chastity one, that's dying. I guess we drew out all the perverts. And that one's now showing less views. What the hell? 11 thumbs down. Oh my God. It's Mormons, what's wrong with you guys? Man, you guys are really sexually twisted. This is disturbing. Oh my God. It's like a nightmare. You wake up one day and find out you were born and raised in hell. Oh man. And there's the temple crisis. 645. There's the one with Lily, short for Lilith, the night demon. And Mormon heroes dying in vain. That only 114 on that one. That's the actual fire department that I worked at. So it's got a whole crew of new recruits, I see. And I understand they've changed it. It's no longer a volunteer firefighting force. It's a paid firefighting force that you got to fill out an application for. They've gotten that big with all the new subdivisions they built there in McGrath. And yeah, the Pope kisses, or Nelson kisses the Pope's ring, because that's what he was doing. I saw Jessie, It's Me Jessie, that channel. She did a video yesterday, finally catching up to realize, oh, Nelson, he considers himself Peter, you know, because he got Joseph Smith got the keys of the church from Peter, James, and John. Peter, you know, and so the Peter of the Mormon Church goes to the Peter of the Catholic Church, the Pope. They consider themselves the direct authority, succession authority from Peter. That's their claim. You know, that's why they have it in Rome, is because when Constantine came around, they needed a legitimate succession authority. And it's not just because Constantine was from Rome, but they chose the Pope from Rome after the time of the Apostles' death because of Constantine. It sort of was the way it was chosen. So Linus was posthumously selected as the official line of popes because of Constantine. And so yes, I could do it with Catholics. Why do you still believe this way, Catholics? And blah blah blah. You know, Pennsylvania is disturbing. Human trafficking, child human trafficking of the boys, sex trafficking. That's disturbing, Catholics. You should demand more than just a change of treatment of the boys. It's not God's church that does this. So, but yeah, they think of it differently than Mormons do. And that's disturbing also. But with the Catholic Church, you got millennia rather than decades. Breaking news tonight. Tonight's the sign. 27th is actually the sign, because Mars is still in the Ram constellation, Aries. Oh, man. Oh. I may go on for 10 more minutes, because then I'll run. And then when I get back, I'll upload the video. And then movie scene. Oh, there's the I Saw Jesus. Oh, that's not the one. Where's the one that I saw? My one-on-one with Christ. There it is. So 63 views there, 63 views there. 8 thumbs down. Oh my God. I had dreams of seeing Jesus, so I tell you guys about the dreams I had about Jesus. 8 people hate. That's unbelievable. It's like, I haven't seen Jesus in a dream, therefore you can't see Jesus in a dream. I don't like it that you've seen him. Unbelievable, the hatred. Is that the... No. The Saints Unscripted. Oh, man, they are whacked out. I mean, they're perfect illustrations of what's wrong in the Utah church, because these guys are the rising generation. And that one video I did a commentary of, I think it was this third one, I couldn't handle them anymore. There was no way I was going to do that. So, you know, Jennifer recommended doing it, going on to Mormon channels and doing a commentary of their video, and I selected Saints Unscripted because they've got a lot of followers, subscribers, compared to other Mormons. Even the church has less than these guys. But man, it was disturbing. I mean, the one guy, you know, what happens if I don't become a Mormon? It's just racist. Unbelievable. And that's the cover. The thumbnail is a scene from their video. Their video. It's just wrong. You know, they have a black kid. You know, he's the one who did the video about the Book of Mormon plagiarism as proof that it's true. I mean, it's just unbelievable how apologists in the church have deceived the minds of Mormons so blindly that they can't even see the evil thinking that goes through their heads. You know, they have no clue that having 2 white missionaries in the background and a black man crying as the thumbnail picture, as the picture meme that they had. Oh, you died, then you realized that the Mormons were knocking on your door last week, meaning that he missed an opportunity to speak with the white missionaries, and therefore he's lost his exaltation just because he didn't talk to them. That's not how it works, Mormons. You don't lose exaltation because you don't want to talk to white people who are trying to force their religion on you. That's not rejecting the Lord. And yet they're on my mission alone. I saw other missionaries, little kids, thinking that way. Oh, well, we just give them the chance, so we go and knock on the doors, and if they don't accept our baptism request, then they lose out and they burn in hell. You know, these are from the same Mormons who had that scandal back in the 90s, I believe, where it finally got to conference where the prophet was talking about it, about how Mormons at BYU would take a trip down to Vegas for the weekend. They'd get married on like the Friday night so that they could have sex for Saturday and Sunday, and then on Sunday they'd get the marriage annulled, and then boom, right back to BYU in time for class on Monday. You know, why even bother to go through all that process? If you want sex, just do it. You know, but, oh, we're breaking the honor code, and so we're going to Vegas so that we can be legally and lawfully wedded. And that's just messed up thinking, guys. What is wrong with you? Yeah, nobody cared that I got Creed 2. I still need to watch that. I've seen clips and stuff, but haven't actually watched it. LDS Mormon women, their role and priesthood. Nobody cares about women having the priesthood. It's just unbelievable. You know, women yesterday had their anniversary of when they received the priesthood. 17th of March. And women just don't care. They've been brainwashed to not care that they had the priesthood. And nobody understands how it functions because it's never functioned after Brigham Young. So, yeah, women got it, and then boom, it was immediately taken away. So they never got to develop it into a functioning situation. And so women don't know that what they're missing. And so they become subservient to men as the only ones who can give them blessings, for example. Oh, man. And I am proof the LDS Mormon Church is false. That's personal video. Those are actual photos. Me in the hospital bed as the Mormon Church tried to assassinate me. I had to be rushed to the hospital. And then there's Temple Square with church security all surrounding me. They weren't going to let me go. I was blocked off from leaving Temple Square. They were bullying me. I was going to leave, and they wouldn't let me leave. I had to say, "Can I go now?" I literally had to request permission to leave because they were blocking me. I was there at the street corner trying to get across the street. They wouldn't let me go. And then a police car drives by. I should have waved it down so that I can get away from them. But they were saying, "Oh, there's a cop. We should call the cops on you." For what? And then there's my parents 3 days before my arrest. Notice who's missing in that picture. And no, I was not taking that picture. I got that picture when I was in jail. And then my parents don't see that they were rubbing it in. That, "Oh, you're in jail. Well, here's a picture of your kids with us." Unbelievable, the hatred and the ignorance and the abuse that is so deep set. Horrifying. You know, I just thought, oh, it's just my parents. And then, okay, well, it's just Mormons. And after, you know, and then, oh, it's just certain leaders, local leaders. And then now I know otherwise. It's all the way up to the top. Because there's no way to have the lower rung of society, of the church, all be corrupt and the top be innocent. It just doesn't happen that way. There's no way that's the case. And so when I did church history, yep, there it is. I thought so. And it was worse than I thought. So the Adam on Diamond records, 12 thumbs down. Oh my God. Mormons don't want records coming out. They don't want new stuff. A quad. They have a quad and they want no more quad. So don't you come around telling us there's more scripture, Travis. We don't want to hear it. And so then I go and I give the translation of the first page of the brass plates. Nobody cares about that one. It's only 93 after 2 weeks and 8 thumbs down. Oh my God. Only the prophet is the one who can tell us about the plates. We won't listen to anybody else. Well, the prophet doesn't have the keys of translation. He's never going to bring it out. And that's the Mormon catch. They think they've got the world. We've got it. The prophets have the keys, and they'll do it in their own time. And therefore they're true. That's circular reasoning. That's a fallacy. Unbelievable. The stupidity of Mormons, which spurns on the hatred of Mormons. And then here's the secret combinations. 173, 7 thumbs down. It's like Mormons just don't care. It's just unbelievable. Oh, and there's the class reunion with me and Brian David Mitchell and Curtis Allgaier, the cop killer, and the real evil man, Mark Shurtleff, with his jail booking photo. And BYU busted. That's died at 309. But oh, well, isn't that interesting, Mormons? BYU police covering up sex assaults by not turning in all the information. No thumbs down. That is interesting. Huh. I'm not quite sure how to process that. That is interesting. 11 thumbs up, but no thumbs down. Wow. Huh. That is interesting. Because that is inconsistent. When you're doing research, you look for inconsistencies, and then you try to figure out how to explain them. So that is weird, because as I've pointed out here, this is the purpose of this video, is that Mormons are just full of hatred and evil thinking and horrendous human rights violations, and yet for this one, it's not following the pattern. That is very interesting. Huh. And then here's the secret combinations exposed. This is one of the videos where I had to delete guys who were throwing out all sorts of secret codes and man, 7 thumbs down. See, we're back to the pattern. So that was weird. Huh. Okay. And then alt-right LDS Mormons on notice. 15 thumbs down. It's unbelievable. You do know, Mormons, that alt-right is fascist. Republican technically is fascist, but alt-right is especially fascist. It's the authoritarian fascists. It's the ultra-extreme evil. And yet Mormons don't care. Unbelievable. You know, I hear in the news that people who are trying to figure out uh, Republicans and why they still trust in Trump, why they still follow Trump, why they still believe Trump, why they get violent for Trump, and they don't understand it. And then I hear on the news of panel discussions of people thinking they know, and they're all just throwing out guesses and opinions. But yeah, I saw it as a kid. They weren't Mormons. They were just the original alt-right that was forming because of the talk shows, radio talk show hosts, Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity, and yeah, it's unbelievable that Mormons would fall for all that. You know, I had in an older singles ward, I was paired up with a guy for home teaching, and he was talking about his dislike of the church for giving assistance to illegal immigrants here in Utah. Apparently, he was sure that that's what was being done, that bishops were giving illegal immigrants food from the bishop's storehouse and clothing and all this, taking care of their bills. No, they don't do that, guy. The bishops will not help them either. The bishops do not give it to the poor. It's a temporary fix. You know, if somebody has a murder in the family and they have to pay for a funeral bill, they'll send the Relief Society with a couple of dinners. That's as far as it goes. You know, I go to the bishop's storehouse to help out, and there are they do have families there, but it's not on par with where it needs to be. And so there are certain families that are getting helped, but it's a temporary thing, and they have to work in order to get that assistance, despite their tragedy that caused them to need it. And so, unbelievable. All right, and then the crackers, 18. Oh man, Mormons, do you understand what you're doing when you put these thumbs down? These thumbs down mean that you guys agree with the corruption of the church. You know, and this one I'm talking about the bishop who had never even read the Book of Mormon, and then was starting to enact all these new laws. Only white bread for the sacrament. Clear violation of the Doctrine and Covenants, guys. And yet here it is. Mormons just don't care. If we want white for a symbolism, we're going to have white for a symbolism. White people are the pure symbolic race of purity. No. You just whitewashed yourself. There's something for you, isn't it? That may be the title of this video. Mormons whitewash themselves. Okay, well, it's time for me to go running. Past time now. So, unbelievable Mormons. I'm ashamed. I shouldn't be ashamed, but I am. That's just horrifying. What's going on here is John Oliver's show finally showing up on YouTube. So is it finally on Amazon so I can watch it? But yeah, you guys forget, I was trained to do research. And so I'm able to research human behavior. I'm better than any psychiatrist, because psychiatrists, they purposely create categories so that they can place people in those categories, so that they can diagnose people according to those categories and then treat people according to those categories. That's got fallacy all over it. It doesn't work that way. I'm using real science in my examination of human behavior. And yeah, I don't create categories for people to fit into. So, anyway. Oh man, Mormons.